Hi guys, I'm Daz Smith and welcome to Crypto Viewing. Now over the years, many times the whole team have been asked, how can I learn to remote view? How long does it take to remote view? Now typically to learn the remote view takes, I would say, between 6 months and 2 years to get a base understanding. To be really proficient with it probably takes a decade or so. Now there are many different methods you can learn for remote viewing. Many are costly, and as I said, many take lots of time and dedication. But as so many of you are interested, what I've done over the past few months is I've consolidated the first 3 stages of my process of remote viewing onto a very short template form so that you can give it a go yourself and you can really assess your natural ability to see if you want to take this further. So what I've done for crypto viewing is I come up with a template system of the first 3 stages, and we're going to give that to you to download, and you can essentially do that on a tablet, or you can print it off and do it on the sheets of paper themselves, and then when you finish you can scan them in and send them off, or whatever you want to do to keep them. I've also created a series of 10 targets for you to practice with, so you can get an idea over a short period of time of your natural ability, and if you want to take this further before you spend a great deal of time and money to advance this art for yourself. So what we'll do now is I'll change camera angles and I'll run you through a simple template remote viewing process itself. Probably take 5 minutes or so. Each one should be very short for you to do. So with further ado, let's go to that process. Okay, so welcome back here. As you can see here, I have my template on my tablet. I like to use the tablet nowadays for doing my remote view sessions because they come with great pens nowadays, but you can also print this out and do it on paper if you like. At the very top here, we have 2 set categories. We have one where you write the target number and any pre-thoughts you may have before you start, or any ideas what the target may be. An area for your name, the date and the time. So let's kick this off then. Let's go straight with the target number. I know the target number for this is 0001. Do I have any pre-thoughts on this? No, it could be anything. Also now going to write my name, so Daz, and the date. The date today is 22nd of the 1st of 21. The time is 2:05 p.m. So that's that bit over. That's the admin work done. Then we have an area here, and there's 3 of them for what we call the ideogram, and this is the first impression of the target, and it's a really fast impression of the target, and it's generally a gestalt, which is a very basic sketch of the target, really basic, like a doodle. So we essentially write the target number here in the middle, 0001, and then go straight into your ideogram. My ideogram is very angular, feels like a very angular target, which usually means to me it's probably a structure in format. So I'm going to repeat this now, and I'm going to write 0001 again, and yes, it does feel very angular for me, very structure-like. And I'm going to repeat this now for a 3rd time, so our 3rd ideogram. As I said, this is very fast sketches, very, very fast. 0001. Yeah, and I'm going over the lines there, and it's definitely telling me that this feels like a structure, so I'm going to write structure here because that's what it feels like. So that's essentially it for stage 1. You have 3 ideograms and you have your admin. Now I'm going to move on to page 2. Now page 2 is sensory impressions. So it would be like if you were at the target in real life, it would be like the sounds, the textures, temperatures, smells and all sorts that you would pick up. Now if you come to any conclusion, words, you write them here under the AOL column. So any strong visual images or nouns are words that name the target, you would put here. Just to put them to one side. Now sounds, what sounds do I think I feel at this target? I think there's going to be traffic. I sense traffic noises. I sense voices as well. There are people at this target. Anything else? There might be a bit of wind. I sense a bit of wind at this target. Okay, textures. If I was at the target and I touched it, what would it feel like? Would it feel cold? It would feel hard. It would feel angular. Now, if I was at the target, what would the overall temperature feel like? I think it would be warm. Colours, I think greys. Greys, there's black. I feel there's white as well. Now, light at the target, is it dark? Is it bright? Is it dull? I think it's going to be bright. I think it's a bright target. I think it feels like it's outside. It feels bright. Any smells at the target? I smell people and I smell traffic. I can smell the fumes, I think. That's what it feels like. Any taste. If I was to taste the target, what would it feel like? It would taste rough and metallic. Now I'm going to look at dimensions. So I'm going to add 4 in here. So dimensions of the target. I think it feels angular. It's not really a dimension, but that's what it feels like. It feels tall. Feels like it might be layered. I'm going to put layered. And it feels like there's space. So I'm putting space in there. So there's 4 there. Now we go to the last thing on this stage 2, which is aesthetic impact. If I were at the target, how would it make me feel? I'll write one word impression. I'm interested. It feels interesting. Interesting, I'm going to write. Feels interesting to me. So that's stage 2 done now. That's the second page done. So now we move on to page 3, which is sketching. Now this says here, write the target coordinate number below, then take a few seconds to create a simple sketch of the target in the space. Feel free to annotate parts of the sketch and probe it with your finger to get more data. So I'm going to make this a bit smaller here for a second. I'm going to write the number there, 0001, and there's my sketch. Simple sketch. It has to be fast. You don't need to take time on this. In fact, the less time you take, the better. Now, if I touch this, it does feel angular. It does feel angular. So I'm going to write angular. Definitely feels solid. Definitely feels tall. Definitely feels layered. Yeah, it feels like it might have areas. Solid, tall, angular, layered. Yeah, this feels good. This feels good. Okay, so let's go again to the next page. So this is stage 3 again. So you like stage 1 with the ideogram, you're repeating the process here to try to get more details. So okay, 0001. Oh, this part here feels tall. I've put some emphasis here, so I'm going to write here. It feels tall. It feels vertical. This feels solid. Feels prominent. I'm going to mark this there, and that'll fit there. And there are other areas here. This feels a little bit more ornate. Oh, ornate, that's a good one. That feels good. I'm going to write ornate, and I'm going to underline that because that's interesting. Again, it feels solid and tall. So that's another sketch there with a few annotations on it, as you can see. And then we get to the last page of this, because as we said, it's a simple template system. There's not much to it at all. So we write a short summary about the target. So the target feels like it's feels like a structure. Feels tall, angular. It's code, hard, and solid. It feels like it may have layered, maybe. That did come up once or twice, didn't it? What else came up here? Ornate. Feels possibly ornate. So it feels like it might have a nice design to it. Oh, design, yeah. Designed. As you can see, as you're writing stuff, more words come through, and the more words come through, write them down. Don't censor anything. So I think that's pretty much it for now. It's a basic session. I'm going to write end at this point, and I always mark my sessions off with a little Daz, so I know it's me. So that's my session here. So very few pages that takes you through a few vague impressions of the target at first with these gestural simple shapes. You then get a little bit more detail with your senses to tell you, the sounds, the textures, the temperatures, the colors, smells, and so on. And then you move on to stage 3 here, where you do some sketching. And as you can see, they're very basic, simple sketches, and you write a few impressions by them. You don't go over the top. And if I'd have put a name to this at any time, I would have had to write this over a corner at the side here. For example, if this felt like it was, I don't know, St. Paul's Cathedral, I would write that here, because it's trying to name the target. So, you just write it there just to get it out of your system, really. But I didn't in this case, so that doesn't need to be there. So I'll just delete that for now because I don't want to add anything at this late stage because I've just ended the session. So there's my other sketch there. Again, on this one it showed it felt like it was more tall and vertical than anything else, and it was very prominent, and a very simple session summary. Feels like a structure, feels tall, angular, code, hard, solid, possibly layered and possibly ornate, but with a design feel to it. So that's the target. So that's 0001, and then you'll do the same thing on this. You'll finish your RV session, then you'll go to your place where your target is, and you will get your feedback. And in the case of this, I'll open up the feedback. Target 0001, and the target is, there it is there, the Eiffel Tower building, Paris, France. Okay, so that's a pretty good close match. As you can see, I had roughly the basic shape. I didn't do nowhere near the pinnacle shape of that one, but I knew it was possibly layered, so that's good. I knew it was a structure, and I knew that it had some vertical ornate elements to it, so that would be a good hit in this case. So that's pretty much it on this. I hope you have fun with this, and I'll see you back at the next section. Welcome back. Well, what did you think? That was the template system. As I showed you, it was fairly easy to run through, fairly fast also. And what it does is it kind of distills the first 3 stages of controlled remote viewing or similar methods into a really fast template form for you to try out remote viewing for the first time. Now, as I said before, it's not something you should use long term. It's only something to give you a little bit of a taster of the remote viewing process, to see what your natural talent is and to see if you want to take it a bit further. So I hope you enjoyed using it. What you should do is show us your results. We'd be happy to see them and to discuss them. Post them onto our forum that we got for our members and Patreon members. Thank you for your support, by the way. Thank you for supporting us at these few years. I hope you enjoy this. Let me know how you get on. I'm keen to see how you do it. Take care and goodbye.